different in Multicore?
No, it's a very, I would say, a homey conference, let's say, with your leadership, of course. But we get, the world's leading experts enclosed in a single room, and we have very relaxed ambience, but be able to discuss up-to-date technology in a deep, profound fashion. So it's a combination of a relaxed atmosphere, but also very deep dive into varying degrees of the up-to-date technologies, which to me is enlightening. Of course, I can present my stuff, but I learn a lot from the presentations. So that's one reason I come back.
Well, it's great to be here, Nicholas. It's always good to come back to New Zealand and think about ways that we can all help New Zealand to move into the future and the role of computing and how it can impact things. One of the big reasons to come here was looking at the list of people that you had coming and recognizing how you had thought leaders from all over the world. It's really quite amazing how you brought those people together. So I was really excited to come and be a part of all these discussions and learn something. And I have already learned a ton from the talks that we've had so far.
I think this is a great community of really deep experts that get together in a wonderful setting, and it is very informal, and it kind of lends itself to all sorts of conversations that are very difficult to have in kind of during your meeting after meeting day-to-day kind of really hectic life of typical business. And in this case, these kind of meetings that put together kind of a smaller community with more time, because honestly we're spending 5-6 days in a part of the world where you got fewer distractions, give you time to take a step back, pause, think about the bigger problem, have honest conversation with people that are your partners, your customers, your competitors, your users in a very open environment. And I think this is exactly what the community needs to tackle one of the grand challenges that we have in front of us.
I think there's such an interesting gathering of minds here, from so many different fields. And I think when you're dealing, especially in an area that, we're talking about, has a huge general application, but, to have the feedback from, absolute brilliant people in all their different fields, asking questions about what you're doing or suggesting that or how it's just...
And understanding.
And actually understand. That's the thing. I almost felt, guilty. I wasn't technical enough in the presentation, but, it's wonderful to have people that really ask the deep questions and can help, our business actually grow just by, learning more.
That's in some way.
Smart minds are thinking about big problems.
First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. It's a wonderful venue here, and the talks, the people, sounds too exciting to me. The discussions that we have are very enlightening and very exciting to me. Plus, having a room of people understanding my issues, it is always very beneficial. They all understand the issues that I'm speaking about, so that's wonderful.
You do bring a lot of very interesting people together, so I've learned a lot from the sessions.
I've been watching this conference for several years now, and all the leaders in HPC have come here. And this is my first time here, first time to New Zealand.
Hopefully not the last.
I hope not the last. Beautiful place, but also when you look at the speakers that you have here and the participants, it's all the leaders in this field, and it's important to network and get to meet and know everyone and interact, and in particular get feedback on what we're doing, how can we work together, collaborate. There's certainly other venues, but this one, I like the fact that it's intimate and a smaller group, be able to have more time together to talk about collaborations.
This conference is very unique because it's not like you're speaking to a very, very large audience, but rather you're speaking to the colleagues where you can bounce ideas, make connections. And also, you talk about where a lot of people, perhaps more software background, and I come in as a hardware background. It's probably in the minority, but it's a very good place to learn from each other.
You make time to come to a little conference like Multicore World. Why? What makes it different for you?
I think you do a great job of getting speakers from all around the world here. So not only do I get to catch up with my colleagues in New Zealand, but with experts from all around the world. And I guess it's my second one since the original, the second event. So it's very exciting to be back. They really enjoyed the technical level of the talk. And traditionally I would give, presentations every day to people I'm working with. So they're at a customer benefit level. And it's actually really exciting to be able to talk with an audience like this who literally understand what I'm talking about when I'm referring about, compiler problems and versioning and some of the challenges in the future of machine learning and how we can improve, or how we could take models that have been incredibly successful with language and apply them to images. Those are very deep topics, and you can have that conversation here, which is really exciting.
I like the diversity in the topics. This gives me exposure to a lot of things I normally don't get exposed to. And since you get the world experts here, pretty much, I just absorb that. I do think it's really nice that I get to hear about a lot of other things outside of my world going on.
And what makes different Multicore World? Because it's still all across the world. What do you find all the experts together in Europe?
Well, you're pretty unique here with this event. And again, in the collection of the topics and the speakers that you get, the very motivated crowd, I think that kind of selects itself. To go here is for most people quite a journey. And that automatically selects the people that are really motivated to be here.
I think spending money on this type of event is actually more beneficial to me. There's still a lot of work that we need to do in terms of how do we plan these sorts of systems. There's a whole lot of work, there's a whole lot of groundwork, and we need to be almost educated before we even do the groundwork.
Look, it's been fantastic so far on the first day. You've got great minds here from all over the world. We keep talking about connections and having everyone working together, multi-disciplinary teams, but also multicultural, and this is a chance to be doing that.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It's my first time in New Zealand, and I'm really enjoying myself. I think Multicore is really special because you bring together such a diverse group of people. I mean, we have people here from the applications domain, from the software side, from the hardware side, people like me from photonics, as well as even government people and agriculture people. So it's just such a wonderful opportunity to really speak to such a variety of people. And I've learned already, so much. So thank you.
No, it's my real pleasure.
It's an amazing set of people in quite a small space. So we get to have some very lively, informal discussions, and sometimes it's discussions across different areas of expertise, and that triggers quite a lot of thought process. There's people here who design chips, and there's people here who do digital twins and simulation.
Why Multicore World?
Well, it has excellent participants, and if you look at the number of questions you have, it's far higher than other meetings. So I say that's the reason I come.
It's just such a nice venue. The people who come are very smart, as you've mentioned, and the conversations are great, and it's also a very relaxed atmosphere. So that's why.
Well, obviously the best part about Multicore World is the side discussions, the interactions with the lists of invitees and the speakers that you assemble.
This is my third trip to Multicore World. After COVID, this is the first trip after COVID, and so I'm very excited to get back. There's a lot going on in the world. I try to get out and engage the other parts of the community, and so I find a lot of those people are here at Multicore World.
But you've already had an impact. You have people from coming back as repeat customers, people from around the world, local people interacting, so you've had an impact.
So I think Multicore World is a place where a lot of people that I know who are excellent are gathered. It's quite rare that you find this kind of equality of speakers in one place. And so it's not as large as these large conferences like SC, where of course these same people are here, but it's a much bigger venue, you get less interaction. But here you have the high quality people, but a small enough number of them that you can actually talk to them at lunch. And so I find Multicore World to be one of these very nice places with high quality participants, but accessible in size.